Welcome back to another episode of The Daily Fix. Today, the drama surrounding Subnautica 2 gets even crazier. Nintendo shuts down a major piracy site, and Final Fantasy's producer is discussing taking the series back to its turn-based roots. I'm Kayla, and this is your Daily Fix. Let's jump in. The Subnautica 2 drama with parent company Krafton is heating up. The founders of Subnautica 2 studio Unknown Worlds, Charlie Cleveland and Max McGuire, along with former CEO Ted Gill, are filing a lawsuit against Krafton amid an increasingly bitter fight over a $250 million bonus. That's a lot of money. In a new statement, Cleveland called recent events an explosive and surreal time and told fans anxiously waiting to play Subnautica 2 that they all deserve the full story. This is just the latest twist in a long, convoluted dispute between Unknown Worlds' original management and Krafton, the Korean mega publisher of battle royale behemoth PUBG. Krafton acquired Unknown Worlds in October 2021, and at the time said that the Subnautica studio would continue to operate as an independent outfit. Last week, however, former Striking Distance CEO Steve Papoutsis joined Subnautica 2 developer Unknown Worlds as CEO. The announcement confirmed that the previous leadership team, Ted Gill, Charlie Cleveland, and Max McGuire, were replaced effective immediately. In a following statement, co-founder Cleveland responded to what he called the shock decision to replace the leadership team, saying that, quote, "After all these years, to find that I'm no longer able to work at the company I started stings." The statement also suggested that while the former leadership team considered the game ready for early access release, Krafton did not. Then earlier this week, reports came to light that Subnautica 2 was delayed to 2026, just months before Krafton was due to pay a $250 million bonus to the development team. Bloomberg said that the delay was, quote, against the wishes of the studio's former leadership, and that the bonus would have kicked in if Unknown Worlds hit certain revenue targets by the end of 2025. Without Subnautica 2 coming out this year, hitting those revenue targets is unlikely, and the bonus won't be paid out. In a statement to IGN, Krafton insisted the decision had nothing to do with, quote, any contractual or financial considerations. Instead, Krafton claimed the delay was about responding to feedback from playtests and that these delay talks were already under discussion before Cleveland, McGuire, and Gill were replaced. Then, in a new statement, Krafton claimed, this is a lot of statements, sit down, get your popcorn, because there's another statement. Krafton claimed it made multiple requests to Cleveland and McGuire to resume their responsibilities as game director and technical director, respectively, but allegedly both declined. The statement said, quote, in particular, following the failure of Moonbreaker, a turn-based strategy game developed by Unknown Worlds, Krafton asked Charlie to devote himself to the development of Subnautica 2. However, instead of participating in the game's development, he chose to focus on a personal film project. Krafton believes that the absence of core leadership has resulted in a repeated confusion in direction and significant delays in the overall project schedule. Now Cleveland has confirmed that the former leadership is taking legal action against Krafton. He did not, however, expand on what grounds the former management team is suing under. Fans are now calling for a boycott, imploring others not to buy Subnautica 2 and accusing Krafton of shady business practices. Krafton has yet to comment publicly on Cleveland's latest statement, and IGN has asked for a comment, so we'll keep you updated as this story develops. Another fun story, not. Nintendo is shutting down your free pirated websites. That's right, no free games for you anymore. That's illegal, sir. Now, instead of illegally copied games, the notorious NSW2U.com hosts a single image offering a warning message from the FBI acknowledging the domain has been seized. The move is the latest in a string of anti-piracy efforts surrounding Nintendo games this year and follows Nintendo itself taking action to permanently brick Switch 2 consoles that use a piracy-enabling flashcard device. Nintendo has long waged war on those who enable piracy of its video games and sought high-profile fines and even prison sentences for those involved. But the company's most recent approach of bricking Switch 2 consoles from accessing the majority of their features has raised eyebrows. with concerns around the impact of this tactic on secondhand consumers, and now even a legal challenge from a Brazilian authority which believes Nintendo has overreached. IGN has contacted Nintendo for more detail on the website's closure and any next steps against those behind its operation. We'll keep you updated if we hear more. And finally, could Final Fantasy return to its roots after Clair Obscur Expedition 33's most recent success? The director says maybe. Naoki Yoshida, the director, producer of Final Fantasy XIV and producer of Final Fantasy XVI, was asked in an interview with Anime News Network whether mainline Final Fantasy games could go back to being turn-based in the wake of Clair Obscur's success. Clair Obscur Expedition 33 has been one of the breakout hits of 2025. It's also a classically styled turn-based role-playing game, taking cues from many popular series, including Final Fantasy. Yoshida said, quote, "With this question of turn-based versus action, it tends to isolate the gameplay to just the battle system. That doesn't take into account what kind of game the creators want to deliver to players. For example, based on a certain graphical quality we want to present to our players or the narrative we want to deliver to our players, it relates to how we set up the game's systems around it. This includes the battle system, game design, and gameplay feel. It's not a clear-cut answer whether it will become all turn-based or if it's going to become more action-based. I'm not necessarily going to be on Final Fantasy XVII, so we also don't want to obstruct or limit our future director or whomever will be producing the games like 17 or even 18. The answer essentially is still up in the air. Final Fantasy does change with each entry after all. Looking at the gameplay shifts from, say, Final Fantasy IX on through 12 and 13 emphasizes how the series often shakes things up for each new installment. Based on Yoshida's remarks, it sounds like development on Final Fantasy XVII hasn't even begun yet. So it'll probably be many years before we find out if the series returns to turn-based combat or not. And that is your daily fix for Friday, July 11. Now's a great time to score some incredible games through Humble. Live now through August 5th, grab Warhammer 40k Rogue Trader, Daemon X Machina, Death's Door, Cat Quest 3, and more. Whether you're building your backlog or discovering something new, it's the perfect time to pick up these fan favorites. Plus, every purchase supports a good cause. This month, your Humble Choice membership supports Covenant House. Get a curated mix of PC games every month, all for just $14.99 a month. Skip a month or cancel anytime, and know that 5% of your membership goes to charity. I'm Kayla, thanks for watching today's Fix. If you're looking for something else to watch, check out the latest episode of Next Gen Console Watch, and I'll see you all on the next one.